All right, guys, I'm here for another show. It seems to be a regular occurrence with me. So tonight I'm going to be going to Korpiklaani with Eluveitie. Actually, Gone in April is opening for those two bands. So it's a 3-band show. Gone in April, Korpiklaani next, and then Eluveitie. Eluveitie and Korpiklaani are co-headlining, so they have about the same size set. I believe they're playing somewhere between 15 and 17 tracks each. Really looking forward to this show. I've seen Korpiklaani live. I saw them once before last November, so it's been about a year. And they played the whole new album from front to back, which was amazing. I don't think they're doing that tonight. I checked the set list online at Setlist FM, and it looks like they're mixing it up a little bit. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to get some songs that I didn't get last time that I saw them, so I'm really hyped about that. And Eluveitie, I've never seen these guys live, so I'm really pumped for the first time to see them live in Toronto. Tonight should be a wonderful show. That's going to be quite the crazy week, because tomorrow I'll be at Ginger and the next day at Montreal. So it's going to be quite the crazy week for me here, and that's why I took the week off from work, so I can attend all of these shows. Nothing better than taking time off from work to attend metal shows. All right, guys, I'm heading out. I'm going to line up and see what this show has in store for me. All right, see you guys. Hey guys, so I'm in the car. I'm getting ready to go home after the show, and what a show it was. This has got to go down as one of the greatest shows that I've ever attended. Absolutely phenomenal, absolutely incredible. It's going to be really hard for me to put this night into words because I just had the time of my life, to quote Dirty Dancing. I mean, I really did. Before I get into that, I need to concentrate. I need to bear down and concentrate so I can get this review finish, so I can give you guys some closing notes for what you guys already saw from the clips that I filmed at the show. Let's start off with the first band of the night, Gone in April, a band from Montreal. I believe they're from Montreal. I'm shocked. Actually, I shouldn't be shocked. I need to pay more attention to Canadian bands. I really need to do that. And these guys were absolutely phenomenal, incredible. Two vocalists, male harsh vocalist, female vocalist. A little bit of a blend of two bands, a little bit of Neil Blavaskaris and Nightwish, if you will. There's a little bit of those two bands in there. Their sound is somewhere in between, somewhere in the middle. Great band, really good live, put on a great show, great set, really solid musicians, great guitar players. Both guitar players were phenomenal. Bass player was also incredible. And the two vocalists had a great chemistry, great dynamic between the two. She also played the violin. Absolutely incredible band. And once again, I need to pay more attention to Canadian bands. These guys are really good. If you've never heard of these guys, go check them out because they're a solid band, solid band. Then after them comes Korpiklaani. I saw Korpiklaani last year in November. They were on tour with Arcona at the time. The album had come out. Their new album had come out in September. So they played the whole album in its entirety. I think only everything but one song, if I'm not mistaken, that they played from that record. This time they mixed a lot of the new material still. They still played a lot of the new material. But they also mixed in a lot of their hits, a lot of their older tracks. So it created a more eclectic set list than last time. Last time was more robust, a little bit thicker because it was more of the new record, for which I didn't mind at all because that was a huge treat to listen to the whole album. But this time was a little bit more eclectic. There was a little bit more of a mixture of sound, of styles, because some of the older songs have a very different dynamic than the new songs. So it created a set list that had a little bit more of an up and down feel, versus being more down straight in a narrow path. So it was a much different show from Korpiklaani. It had a different dynamic, had a different vibe. But those guys, man, they really electrified the crowd. It was an absolute crazy show. This venue, the Opera House, is much better than where they played last time. They played at the Mod Club, which is a much smaller venue. This is a much bigger venue. The place was not sold out, but it was very close to it. It was packed. And they really got the crowd going. Absolutely insane. Korpiklaani is one of those bands that I could technically go see them every single night if I could. And you never get tired because every night is a different show. Every time you see them is a different show. Regardless if some of the songs are the same or not, they just put on such a great show. So it's a lot of fun to watch these guys play. Then last but not least, Eluveitie came on. First time for me seeing these guys live. I was super excited. I was really looking forward to the show because it's definitely one of those bands that I had on my bucket list of bands that I wanted to see. And I finally got a chance to see them. It's been 5 years since they played in Toronto, so I was really excited about the opportunity to see these guys. And, man, they just... It's really hard to put it to words. They put on a great show. They played a bunch of songs from the new album, obviously. And to me, that was great because I really enjoy their new record. It has a great sound to it, a sound that, in my opinion, really translates well into a live setting. So it was really nice to see them play a lot of the songs from the new record, but not forgetting the older records and playing a lot of the old stuff as well. And they really did a good job mixing the tracks and mixing older songs with newer songs. Even on the encore, they left Rebirth for the first song of the encore. So even in the encore, they did a good job mixing older with newer tracks. So they did a really wonderful job as far as the set list is concerned, to really weave in and out of new and old, in a way that they can still appeal to the fans that have been around for a long time, but at the same time get some of the new songs out there and playing them live, because obviously they haven't been in North America since this album came out. So it's important for them to play to play these new songs live. So I think they did, in my opinion, they did a wonderful job really weaving in and out of older newer tracks. And they were very solid, like straight to the point. There was very little interaction with the audience. Actually, Korpiklaani, the same thing. They both played really long sets. Korpiklaani played about 20 songs, just going back to that. Eluveitie, I think they played about 18 tracks, something along those lines. So they play really long sets, and if you're going to play those long sets, you really have to play them, and there's not a lot of time to talk, there's not a lot of time to interact. You just really have to go about your business, and you have to play song after song after song. But what that does is it doesn't break the show. It doesn't take away the air out of the room. It doesn't take away the energy that the crowd has. And in this show, it was really energy coming from the band and energy coming from the fans, and they were both feeding off of each other. And by not breaking for too many conversations or discussions or talk about the political agenda of the day that a lot of bands do, which I'm fine with, but it does break a little bit. It does take a little bit of the fluidity of the show. It takes a little bit of the continuity of the show. So these guys didn't do that. These guys just almost played straight, and that allowed for the energy to stay at a very high level and never drop. And then the highlight of the night, I got a shutout from Eluveitie. I got a shutout from Kriegel. So the fact that happened, you heard it right. He goes on the mic and he says, "Is that the guy that does the reaction videos?" Made my night. And then he said, "You got to meet me by the bus. We'll have a drink." So I obviously went to the bus and we met up. I took a picture. We got to chat. We got to talk. And that was surreal. I don't think I have any other word to describe that experience but surreal. It was absolutely magnificent. Was insane. The fact that he gave me a shout out in the middle of the set, he stopped the set to talk to me, that blew my mind. And then the fact that I got to meet the guys from the band, himself and some of the other band members outside after the show, that was just like the icing on the cake. Like, it was just absolutely surreal to me that I had the opportunity to just talk about music, talk about their album. It was just incredible. I know they're going to come back. They're coming back to North America next year. So hopefully next year I get to sit down with him and do a little interview and perhaps pick his brain about the album and talk a little bit more about the record. I wish I had the chance to do this time. It didn't work out. Next time, we both agreed that next time we need to sit down and have a discussion. So that to me was the absolute best, the greatest moment ever, highlight of the night. It's going to be really hard to top this. All right, guys, great show. These guys are going to continue their tour, so if they're coming to a town nearby, don't miss it. All three bands are extremely talented. All three bands put on a lot of energy onto their live sets. All three bands will give you your money's worth. That's all I can say right now. All right? Take care, guys.